Just a few short years ago, if you were to ask me, why do Americans own guns? I would say there's a lot of reasons for it. Self-defense, hunting, sportsmanship, hobbyists, collectors. There's all sorts of reasons to own guns. If you asked me why I own guns, really I'd kind of say I collect guns for a lot of the same reasons. I used to collect old clocks. I love precision and machinery and accuracy, and just how things work fascinates me. And the more accurate, the more precise a gun, the more fascinating it is to me. But this has changed a lot just in the last couple of years. In 2020, there were millions of new gun owners, and there's been more guns sold over the last 4 years than any 5-year stretch of time in the history of guns. It's incredible. The sheer volume of gun owners in this country has transformed. More so if you go and you talk to gun stores, people that work at gun stores, and ask them, do you get a lot of anti-gunners, anti-Second Amendment people in here? And they say, oh my gosh, yes, we do. We get a ton of them. And they all come in because they want to own guns. Anti-gunners are coming into gun stores to buy guns. Very consistently by the millions, potentially. Well, new research has come out as to why. Why is this happening? And I believe the reason why is not, I'm trying to think of how I best word this. It's not changing the Second Amendment in any way. It's changing the perception of the Second Amendment in dramatic ways. And what we find out is that America as a whole, when you look at all the gun owners in America, 78% of them own guns for self-defense. It's the overwhelming thing. You know, now when you ask somebody, it's not, well, hunting and sportsmanship and collector and blah, and this and that. It's self-defense. It's preservation of your own security. It's really, people are buying guns because they're nervous about what's going on in the world around them. They don't trust the violence that they see in their neighborhoods. And people are now buying guns for self-defense. The collector aspect of it, the hunting aspect of it, the sportsmanship aspect of it. All of these things, they're still there, but they're on a very, very minor scale. If somebody goes out to buy a gun, there's a 78% chance that they're buying that gun for self-defense. And all the others fit in the remaining 22%. Now, I believe this is really changing aspects of the Second Amendment, because what we see when you look at anti-Second Amendment efforts, anti-Second Amendment laws, they really they justify it by saying things like, well, you don't need more than 2 rounds to be able to deer hunt. You know, you only need a shotgun if you're going to protect your home. And it eliminates all this. It eliminates all this discussion, because even of the people that have purchased a gun for self-defense, 60% of them say that they carry outside the home on a regular basis. So now what we're looking at is all these silly arguments that anti-Second Amendment people have had, they're erased. Americans own guns because we need to defend ourselves. Well, you don't need, an AR with so many rounds in it to go deer hunt. Well, right. I need one for self-defense. I need one to help protect this country from a tyrannical government. That's why I need it. I don't need a deer hunt. I may take an AR deer hunting. It's been a long time. I have other choices for that I'd prefer. But my AR is simply for self-defense and defense of country. That's what it's for. That's what our forefathers meant the Second Amendment for. So all these little arguments that anti-gunners have, they're not even viable anymore, at all. And I believe wholeheartedly it's because you have this, now probably a vast majority of this country's population are gun owners now. And a ton of them are anti-gunners, a ton of them. People that hate guns, but they think to themselves, I sure hate guns, but there's a lot of them out there, and you'd be a fool not to have one for self-defense. I wish I didn't have to have this, but I do. Just that's how they justify it. And then they go into the gun store and they say things like, I always thought I'd be against this, but now I feel like I need one. And this is happening by the millions. So I believe this is great news for the Second Amendment. I really believe, honestly, that this anti-gun effort is losing its steam, specifically because so many people are going out and they're buying guns strictly for self-defense. People that love guns are doing it. People that hate guns are doing it. I think this is great news, and I wholeheartedly encourage the continuation of this. But in the end, when you see people arguing, well, you don't need an AR for deer hunting. Well, so I need it for self-defense, just like the other 78% of the millions and millions and millions of gun owners there are out there. That's what it's for, period. No ands, if, or buts about it. So there you go. Gun owners of America, their purposes and everything is really changing kind of the argument on the Second Amendment, so to say. So there you go. Any thoughts or insight on any of this? Definitely put this below. Encourage those of you who have loved ones who are anti-gunners to go ahead and just, it's okay to own a gun. You don't have to be all nervous, you don't have to hide it. It's okay. We won't call you a hypocrite. Just encourage them to embrace the gun. Just embrace it. I know you've been against it for a long time, but just embrace it. It's really how we need to treat these people. So any thoughts or insight on any of that, definitely put it below. I do want to take a moment and say that most people watch this channel, not subscribers. Click that subscribe button. It greatly increases the algorithm and our ability to get these messages out. That link is also below. But the most important part of this channel is we take prayer requests. So please don't ever hesitate to send that in. Thank you for watching this episode of God, Family, and Guns. And as always, love God, love your family, and love guns.